Have you ever experienced complete doubt when it comes to your abilities? Maybe you've been considered for a promotion or some opportunity and suddenly you realize, I feel like a total fraud. You may have experienced imposter syndrome, and we are going to be talking all about imposter syndrome today, plus some ways that you can manage strategies for beating imposter syndrome. Let's cue that intro and get that episode going. So I want to share with you guys a little bit about imposter syndrome because this is something that so many people experience and they don't realize that it's actually affecting them every single day. So we're actually creating a 3-part series for this. This is part 1, and this video is all about what the heck is imposter syndrome. And make sure you stay until the end because I have 27 strategies for you guys that will support you in beating imposter syndrome. If you want that, comment below and let me know. Okay, so let's talk real fast about what imposter syndrome is. There is this theory called the learning curve, and the learning curve is not as simple as a curve. It's something that almost everyone goes through, but basically we start out completely clueless. We have no idea what we don't know. We have no idea what we need to know. We have no idea what's ahead of us in the journey. And so then we continue to grow, but we aren't afraid because we don't know all of the things, and we don't know all the things that we don't know. Blissfully unaware across the board. So then we're going to grow into this place where we are naively confident, meaning we've learned some, but we haven't fully discovered everything that there is to learn about a particular topic or a particular role or a particular company or a career path. So that's a place where if you stay there, you actually may be experiencing what we call this Dunning-Kruger effect. Dunning-Kruger effect is, in my opinion, the complete opposite of imposter syndrome. It's where people are falsely confident. They really truly believe that they know everything that there is to know. And most of us experience that on the learning curve. And it's very, very funny once you get on the other side of it and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I thought I knew everything. But then this is where imposter syndrome kicks in. The next phase is this huge crash when you suddenly, your eyes become open and you're aware of everything that there is to learn. You learn so much about what you don't know. It's humbling, it's scary, it can make you feel like a fraud, it can make you feel like you're never going to achieve mastery. And so many people call this the pit of despair. That's a really good way to explain it. But the pit of despair lasts for years. Now, here's the thing. You continue to grow over time past that pit of despair. And a lot of people say that mastery is like achievement of learning everything, or that mastery is this place of knowing everything that there is to know. And that drives me crazy because I truly do not believe that that is possible. I believe that mastery is becoming comfortable with the fact that you're never going to know everything. But that's the opposite of where you're at in imposter syndrome, meaning in imposter syndrome, you falsely have this expectation for yourself that you have to know everything, understand everything, be able to lead in everything. It's this really challenging experience that makes you feel like you're basically in that game Among Us and you're trying to convince people like, I'm not an imposter. Now, here's the crazy thing. In real life, people don't like walk around and point at certain people and say like, imposter, imposter. I knew that this person was fake. Like, that's not how people work or behave most of the time. But it can feel sometimes like people are wondering if you're actually capable or not. That being said, I remember my dad gave me some advice as a kid that really supported me. He said basically your whole life it's going to feel like you're in this fishbowl and like everyone is on the outside of this fishbowl looking at you. But the truth is every single person is in their own fishbowl, 100% focused on themselves, their inadequacies, their own imposter syndrome. And most of the people around you are going to be in one of probably 2 phases. They're going to be either naively confident in that Dunning-Kruger effect. They're going to be in imposter syndrome as well. So just know they're in the same pool. And then there are those few people who get to mastery where they're comfortable with not knowing everything, but they're obsessively learning and actually practicing as much as they can every single day. Now, the thing about imposter syndrome is it can prevent you from living your best life and showing up fully. For some people, it looks like not stepping up for promotions. For other people, it looks like not speaking on stages when there's an opportunity. And still others will oftentimes self-sabotage to take themselves out of a position where imposter syndrome is triggered. They'll completely pull themselves out of the game or out of the running 100% because they're like, I felt like I was completely like a fish out of water. The truth is, that is a very good sign. When you feel moderately to sometimes even extremely uncomfortable in a new situation, whether it's speaking on stage or in a promotion or some opportunity that's outside of your current scope, that is a great sign. It means that you are choosing intentionally to become uncomfortable for the purpose of growth. And yes, that's where imposter syndrome occurs. But one of the best things that you can do is to step forward and start to take action despite the imposter syndrome that you may be facing. Now, I put together 27 strategies for beating imposter syndrome that I know will support you guys because this is so powerful. So make sure you comment below and let me know if you're excited about this. I'll share several of these strategies and I'm going to share with you what was helpful for me in overcoming imposter syndrome. So one thing that was really crazy was learning about big agency owners who would say things like, stop looking for the adult in the room. They'd say, you're the adult in the room, to account executives and account managers, giving them the power to handle those situations. Those account executives ultimately felt like they had ownership. So the beautiful thing about that phrase is that you can make a decision, a conscious decision, to stop looking for the adult in the room. You are the adult in the room. It's one of the craziest things I've ever experienced was that realization, oh, it's me. One of the crazy things was learning about one of the co-founders of Netflix and how he said nobody knows anything. And I thought that was such a beautiful way to look at the world, especially for those who have imposter syndrome. Sometimes we look to others for permission, or we look for someone to give us the playbook. And while you can find people who have trekked the path that you want to take previously, and that can be helpful at times, it is important to recognize that nobody is truly the expert on the human experience because we're all experiencing it for the very first time. Now, here are 3 strategies out of my 27 strategies for beating imposter syndrome, and I know that these are going to serve you. Number 1 is priorities. Pick 3 action steps that move your business or your career forward. Commit to getting just those 3 things done before you take a break, and it will help you to take action every single day amidst imposter syndrome. Number 2, tricking your brain. Imposter syndrome can literally feel like your stomach is doing flip-flops. Start saying, I'm so excited every time that you experience that, and you can actually train your brain that those like nerves and flip-flop feelings in your stomach are excitement butterflies. I did this with myself for speaking on stages. I've always enjoyed speaking on some stages, but I more recently have had opportunities to speak on stages of, thousands of people, all the way up to 12,000 virtually. And so with those experiences at Funnel Hacking Live, social media marketing world, traffic and conversion, right before I go on stage, I feel that familiar flip-flop feeling. You know what I'm talking about? If you do, comment below and let me know. So I feel that little flip-flop feeling. And I say, oh, I'm so excited. This is like that moment right before you go down on the roller coaster. It's the best moment. And by doing so, my brain truly believes that I'm excited about that moment. And it's totally transformed my experience. So tricking your brain is my number 2 strategy for beating imposter syndrome. And number 3, burn the lies. This is so intense. Like, I know there's gonna be people who are like, this is way too dramatic, but I don't really care because you know what? Imposter syndrome feels very dramatic. So what I recommend doing is writing down all of the lies that you're experiencing, the fears, the doubts, the false beliefs that are going on in your head. Write them down on a piece of paper and then literally burn it. But make sure you have a fire extinguisher nearby. So don't like set a house on fire or anything like that. If you guys want to grab my 27 strategies for beating imposter syndrome, check out the comments beneath this video. We have linked to it so you guys can easily grab that. I know it's going to serve you so well. I will catch you guys later. Oh, be sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you enjoyed learning about imposter syndrome. Have you ever experienced it? I'm super curious. Bye for now. Have you ever? Wow. We're going to start this off with a blooper. All right, let's get geared up. Hi guys, by the way. Hello. Trying to get a couple YouTube videos knocked out before the fam comes home. I can't remember what it's called. Dang it, let's try this again.